The snowstorm had swallowed the city by the time Adrian Hale, the famously unshakable CEO of Hale Corp., realized he was the only one left in the towering glass building. The lights of the city below flickered through sheets of snow, but inside his corner office, everything felt muted and painfully hollow. For the first time in years, the man the world saw as powerful, ruthless, and untouchable felt small, defeated, even. It was Christmas Eve, a night built for warmth, laughter, and family. Yet he sat at his massive mahogany desk with only the cold hum of the heating system to keep him company. His chest tightened as memories threatened to surface, memories of his father's harsh expectations, of the holidays spent alone while other children unwrapped gifts under twinkling lights, of loved ones lost too early and too suddenly. He had everything money could buy, yet nothing that mattered. And he didn't realize how visibly broken he looked, until a tiny voice interrupted the silence. If you believe kindness and second chances still matter in this world, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support truly helps keep stories like this alive. The elevator doors chimed behind him. Adrian lifted his head, startled, wondering who else would be here this late. A janitorial cart squeaked across the marble floor, pushed by a woman bundled in a worn coat and knit gloves. At her side walked a little girl no more than 6, holding a paper cup of hot cocoa in both hands. Her pigtails bounced as she tried to keep up with her mother's steps. Adrian frowned at the sight. He had signed countless workplace policy documents yet had never imagined one of his employees needing to bring a child to work on Christmas Eve. The woman, clearly embarrassed, urged her daughter to stay close and quiet. But children have an uncanny way of seeing what adults hide, and the little girl looked straight at Adrian with wide, gentle eyes. The moment their gazes met, she noticed the sadness he thought he had masked so well. She tugged at her mother's sleeve, whispering something that made the woman's face flush with panic. But the girl didn't wait for permission. She walked up to Adrian with the pure, fearless sincerity only children possess. All at once, the CEO felt exposed, like every wall he had built over decades had cracked open under the tenderness of a child's concern. He tried to offer a polite, guarded smile, but the girl's sincerity disarmed him completely. She stared at him as if she could sense his loneliness, as if she knew the weight he carried within him. And then, in a soft, fragile voice that trembled with compassion, she told him something he would never forget for the rest of his life. "Don't cry, mister, you can borrow my mom." Time seemed to pause. Adrian felt something sharp in his throat, a tightness he hadn't allowed himself to feel in years. He blinked, realizing tears had gathered without his permission. No one had offered him kindness like that since he was a child, certainly not in such a simple, generous way. The woman rushed forward apologetically, but Adrian shook his head gently, assuring her it was all right. For the first time in a long while, someone had seen him not as a CEO, but as a human being. The girl introduced herself as Mia. Her mother, Elena, explained she had brought Mia because she couldn't afford childcare and needed the holiday pay to buy groceries and maybe something small for Christmas morning. Adrian listened, feeling a deeper ache. In the pursuit of success, he had forgotten what struggle really looked like, what real people endured every single day in the shadows of the empire he built. As they spoke, Mia handed him her cup of cocoa, insisting he needed it more than she did. He laughed, softly, an unsteady, unfamiliar sound, and accepted it. The three of them ended up sharing the quiet space of his office, Mia coloring on scrap paper while Elena finished her shift. Adrian found himself talking, truly talking, for the first time in years. He confessed he had no one to go home to. No dinners waiting, no presents wrapped, no family expecting him. It felt strange, exposing the emptiness behind the corporate armor. But neither Mia nor Elena judged him. They simply listened, offering presence rather than pity. As the night deepened and the storm worsened, Adrian insisted on driving them home for safety. Their apartment was small and modest, with mismatched furniture and strings of paper snowflakes taped to the walls. Yet when he stepped inside, he felt something warm bloom in his chest, something he hadn't felt since childhood. The room, though humble, radiated love. Mia danced excitedly as her mother prepared a simple meal, and Adrian watched them as if observing a miracle. He wasn't sure how or why, but he found himself helping set the table, laughing when Mia insisted he wear a paper snowflake crown, and letting himself be pulled into their tiny world. For a few hours, he wasn't a CEO. He wasn't alone. He was simply a man sharing Christmas Eve with kindness he never knew he needed. The storm eventually eased, and it was time to leave. As he stood at their doorway, Mia hugged him tightly around the waist. "You can borrow us again," she said softly. "Whenever you're sad." Driving home, Adrian felt something shift inside him. The emptiness was still there, but it no longer swallowed him whole. A child's innocent compassion had reminded him what he'd lost, and what he could still build again. In the days that followed, he quietly arranged for Elena to receive a promotion, proper childcare support, and a safer home, all without making her feel indebted. But more than that, he returned, not as a CEO, but as a friend. And for the first time in his life, Christmas didn't feel like a wound. It felt like a beginning. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps inspire more people with stories of kindness and hope.